Hi, and welcome to Timberdoodle's 2026 Preschool Curriculum Kit. I'm Hope. I'm here with my sister Grace. We're excited to talk to you today about what's in the kit for preschool this year and why we love it.
Let's take a look at language arts first. So we've got the Play Smart alphabet books. Now, that's going to include tracing, matching, cutting, a number of colorful activities that's going to build preschool readiness skills as well as letter recognition. Now, why do we like these particular books for all the options that are available? We love the thoughtful progression. And so if you look at a number of other books, you're going to find that the skill level varies widely and too widely for a preschool student who's just coming in and getting started. These are thoughtfully progressed, highly interesting, colorful pages that they're going to want to do far more than the prescribed 4 pages a week. They're going to want to keep going. And you're not going to be frustrated with having to throw away a number of pages because they were ready for that one, but not ready for that one.
Yeah.
Next, we have the ABC Fit Find puzzle. So this is a really fun one because it's very high quality. The pieces feel amazing. They're made out of silicone. They go into a wooden base, and behind each silicone piece is a phonics-friendly picture so that the students are not only working on letter recognition, they're working on letter sounds.
Yes. And why? Why a letter puzzle in preschool? Because you are working on letter recognition. You're working on putting together a puzzle. Puzzling is a pre-reading skill, which is awesome that even at preschool you can already start building that pre-reading skill. You have visual discrimination. You can do sensory play with these pieces. You can use them in the tub. You can build short words. All of this through this great high-quality silicone puzzle. Next, new for 2026 is the My First ABC Sounds board book. I am really excited about this because letter sounds and names retention can be an issue for some kids. And also, even at preschool, I love the idea that even at the preschool age, we can be teaching these, giving them a head start, going ahead and working with the familiarity with it without belaboring it. So you've got the ability for them to see the letter, to hear it, and then to do it by acting it out. I love that. I wished I'd had that when teaching the letter sounds to my own kids. I think that would have made the information stick a lot easier, especially for those struggling with dyslexia. I think the see, hear, and do will be a lot smoother for them. So easy to use, read a page a week, add on the next letter, review the old ones, and so that by the time they reach pre-K, kindergarten, this is old hat, they've got this, and it's really cemented deep in their brains. Next is Wimmelbooks. So this is basically a Where's Waldo wordless picture book with a different variety of different scenes. So you've got the storytelling, you've got the vocabulary boost, you've got the scavenger hunt, again, on the farm, construction, all different kinds of situations that your child's going to be exposed to by looking at these books together. So it's going to be a point and name. What do you see going on? Can you find this character? What do you think just happened here? Can you tell me the story, or let me tell you the story? A really fun look at the world through a bunch of different scenes.
Yes, and why we chose it is, one, of course, it's been a family favorite for years. So many of our kids have absolutely loved this book, and it lasts. It's a high quality book. We love the age range of this book. So little kids all the way up into early elementary are still enjoying the stories, enjoying looking through it. And we love that it teaches those beginning skills for creative writing, which is an essential skill. It is a critical thinking skill that you're beginning to build right now.
Yes. So we suggest just reading the first pages together, a couple pages a week. You're going to look for the characters at the beginning, look for them throughout, and inevitably, I get the book out with the preschooler and say, okay, who do you want to look for? And next thing I know, I've got a couple different children. I'm looking for this one, and I'm looking for this one. And it's a lot of fun to go through the scene, identify your character, what's happening in this situation, what's going on, and then you could ask open-ended questions. Why do you think there's a submarine in the harbor? Or what should the campers do about the bear? And so you're building that storytelling, that critical thinking and vocabulary while having fun.
Next, we have the A to Z uppercase Magnatab. So this is a magnetic stylus that traces letters. The metal balls will snap into place as they trace over them, giving the student that auditory and tactile feedback, while also building the muscle memory of how to write the letter. Why do we choose this one? There's so many different ones out there.
There are so many different ones out there. And, magnets are one of the ones that if it's not high quality, it's just irritating. It's frustrating to work with. And so Though we've tried different brands, this is the one that we've landed on as this is the one that works the best. It's high quality. It's got the great responsiveness of the little balls to your stylus, and they don't stick too much going back down when they're pushing back down with their fingers. So it's just that perfect balance of easy to use and reliable.
Okay, let's take a look at math. So to start off with, we have the Farmland Math Town and Farm Bundle. And this is a hands-on preschool math program that Timberdoodle built ourselves because we really feel a need, especially at this preschool age, to have a hands-on story-based math program. So each week you're going to have a different story that you're going to do maybe several times with the student. You're going to have the hands-on animals, or on the other side of the mat, you've got the town, so you've got different vehicles that they're going to use. And they're basically going to be doing addition, subtraction, counting. They're going to start very, very basic, and then building up in the skill levels as it goes along. What we love about this is it correlates very, very well with the math workbook that they're going to go through. So they're going to get a hands-on view of it and then go do it in the workbook and really understand it.
So it's going to be free play at first, and then 1 lesson per week, 2 story problems each, and they read it out loud and then enact it with the little characters. So 1 horse is eating the apples. Can you put 1 horse with the apples? Oh, now there is a cow. Now how many animals are eating the apples? And so on. Next, you have the Mathematical Reasoning Beginning 1 math book. Now, this is a complete curriculum for this age group. It's going to cover shapes, measurement, patterns, comparing, classifying, early fractions, data, and more at a preschool level. The concepts are spiral, so you're going to cover it and come back to it, gently increasing the skill level on each one. The pages are reasonable. Sometimes it will be 4 problems per page, or find 5 different shapes or whatever. So it's very reasonable. Your child's going to do about 7 pages a week, and that's not 7 double-sided pages. It's 7 sides. So again, very reasonable. Tear a page out 3 times a week, and you've almost got the whole thing done. Again, concepts are spiral, so nothing gets forgotten. What you've covered at the beginning, you will be covering throughout and building on that skill.
And what we love about it is that it really teaches kids to think and not just to memorize the facts. And ultimately, that's your main goal at this age, is that you're teaching and building those foundational skills, so that way when they start doing more advanced math, they're really understanding the concepts and not just relying on memory. Okay, now we're going to look at thinking skills. And to start with, we've got the day and night smart game. Now, this has been a family favorite, and we absolutely love this because it takes it from a very simple look at the picture and imitate it. And so you can sit there with the kiddo and walk them through. Now look for the purple rectangle, and you can kind of turn it into a story as you're doing it, but you're having them build it directly off the picture card. And then once they've got that mastered, you can switch to the harder level of the silhouettes. And so now you're relying on shapes, and it just takes a little bit more thinking. Again, teaching the student to look at the card and copy it, but with some more thinking skills and some of the executive functioning skills of planning which piece needs to go on first and so on.
Okay, next in thinking skills, we have a series of 4 Play Smart workbooks. Now, these are going to cover all types of skills for your preschooler. It's going to cover tracing, shapes, counting, mazes, spot the difference, all at the preschool level. So again, starts it so gently. What I appreciate about this series is they tend to be more sequential in their skill building, instead of random simple maze to all of a sudden count 10 plus 3. You know, you're like, whoa, where did that come from? So these tend to start really gently and build gradually. The tracing starts with just a straight line and then maybe a little curve in it, etc. So it gets your child building those fine motor skills, early math, early logic, early handwriting. Very colorful, very engaging. In our experience, preschoolers tend to start a book and not want to stop. So instead of saying, we need to get through these many pages, we're saying, we need to save some of these pages. And so tends to be a very fun and engaging outlet for them to begin their thinking skills and begin their fine motor skills, begin that bookwork type schoolwork.
Next, we have the building thinking skills beginning one, and we love this because it's more of the, it's like the intense curriculum workbook, but at a very age appropriate level. Very engaging, very colorful, but it's going to cover a lot. So it's got sorting, classifying, comparing, predicting patterns, and spatial awareness, all in this one workbook, moving from picture-based puzzles to word-based challenges. So again, kind of a gentle, gradual workbook for them to get through these really core subjects that they need to have. And we, of course, love that it has no prep. You just open and go and work through it with the student.
And really, this builds the skills behind the reading, writing, and math readiness. So the kids don't even realize that they're actually preparing. They think they're just playing, and meanwhile, you're covering logic and visual tracking, memory, inference, shapes, and much, much more. So very simple, easy approach while uncovering and going through these complex subjects.
All right, can you spot animals? So can you spot books are one of Hope's favorite because it gets all the kids in together. Like you start reading one of these books, all of a sudden all the kids are gathered around. They love talking about the animals. They love looking for the funny, quirky little things that are hidden on the page. Meanwhile, you're working in counting and matching and visual perception while at the same time building vocabulary and just having a great time reading an engaging book.
It's perfect for preschoolers. Next, we have our single-player critical thinking game, Hide and Go Seek. Now, this one's really fun. It's going to work on shape recognition. It's going to work on spatial reasoning. Your child is going to be hiding the goats on the board under the pieces of furniture, hiding them from the wolf. And, you know, it just seems like a general thing that kids love, games that involve wolves and hiding, and this one's perfect for that. Starts off super simple. So they'll have one goat or one pair of goats on the board, give them the piece of furniture with a matching shape, and have them figure out how to manipulate it on top of the goats, keeping them safe from the wolf, and build the complexity from there. So your child will eventually be building up to hiding multiple goats with multiple shaped pieces. So not only are you figuring out what shape, but the direction and how to face these different pieces of furniture so that they can all fit on the board while covering up the goats. Brilliant, brilliant design and really fun for the kids to play.
Okay, let's take a look at Bo's Cloudland. So there's a couple reasons that we love this logic puzzle and feel like this is a great one to include at this age. One is just the chunky wooden puzzle pieces. These remind us of the toys we used to play with in our childhood. Those durable, they feel good in your hands. They're fun to hold, fun to play with, wooden animals that you can use in a variety of ways. But then you've got the logic side of this, and this is what's so great about it, is it's going to start off really simple, like with just one or two animals on the page that they're going to match these chunky little wooden animals to the page to cover up the cloud. The other thing that you can do and have them do with it is to stack the animals in the same way that they're being shown on the cloud, which really amps the difficulty level. And so we feel like this is kind of one of those sets that you are going to be able to use for not just for preschool, but you're going to be able to use it even with your older kids. And we love a set that is not just one and done, and then you have to get rid of it or toss it or hand it off. And so we feel like this is really going to be something that they will continue to play with and they can continue to be challenged with. But the cloud puzzles are going to continue to progress as well. So you've got two animals, then you've got, you know, as you work through the different, I believe there's 48 different challenges. As you work through them all, you're going to have just a huge cloud full of different animals, but they're learning the visual discrimination to say, oh, I see a goat's nose over here, and that looks like a cat kind of sticking up over here. And they, through their different elimination processes, they're going to be able to fill that cloud in. So you're really...
And like Grace was saying, once you've done that flat level, then standing it up, you're working on those fine motor skills, pre-writing skills, to be able to figure out how to balance them. And again, the executive functioning to say, well, I can't stand this guy by himself and I can't stand this guy by himself, but if I stand them together, they support each other and hold each other up. So it covers a number of different learning abilities, slowly, gradually building it up.
Okay, Jekko's Little Memo. This is one of my favorite games to play with this age because you can start it off with just like two animals. So it's a memory game. Honestly, I will never outgrow this memory game. I wish I would, but I'm not that smart. So it's phenomenal for brain training. You can start with just 2 animals and say you've got the bee and you've got the dragonfly, and you show it to your preschooler, and then you tell them look away, and you hide one of them under the little leafy hiding box. And then they have to turn back and look and tell you which one is hiding. So you can build this really, really slowly as they start to understand the concept of the gameplay. And then as they build that memory skill to try to remember, well, do you remember we talked about which one do we have? And eventually you get up to 3 or 4 animals, and you keep, until they can do them all. And then you can also be building in the different competition skills and stuff to have multiple kids playing this, and you get a token every time you guess it right. And so building those kind of sportsmanship skills at the same time. So a really great family game that your youngest child can participate in.
Which is hard to find, because often with this age group we find you can find preschool games that the rest of the family just dies to have to play with them because it's boring and we just have to give it to them and whatever. Little Memo, we can all be on pretty equal footing. Add in a couple more animals on your turn if you've got a great memory, and you'll be challenged as well. So it takes the boredom out of the family game, but allows the youngest member to be involved. Last in thinking skills, we have the sticker learning collection. Now this is a set of 3 different sticker books that we've put together that we believe does a great job at building incrementally the challenge, the intensity, the challenge for your child learning how to put stickers on. The value of these sticker books is that they help build your child's fine motor skills, they help with the hand-eye coordination, the visual processing, and give you the outlet to discuss a lot of different settings, events, all kinds of things with social studies with your child as they're putting on these stickers. What they don't realize is they are building an intensity. So it goes from just put 1 sticker on a page to find the matching fruit sticker, or find the numbers that go around the clock and put them in order. So they are building in intensity, building in skill level, all through the easy, hands-on, decorative, stickering the page outlet. So you're going to cover things like shapes, numbers, patterns. You're going to do critical thinking. The outdoor adventure one has more of a community bent towards it, which I like, because then you're getting the social studies, you're getting the social awareness and the storytelling through that. So great collection to be working on with your child to help them grow in these skills.
Next, we have the inflatable animal globe, and this is a really great age to start introducing the geographical mindset to help your student understand, like, where do we live and what is this world? And this is going to give them a really good hands-on way to look at it, because it's a globe, but it's really durable, and this is what we love about it. It's kind of phenomenal, really, because it's printed from the inside. So you can toss it, throw it, and do all kinds of craziness with it, and that print's not going to wear off because it's from the inside. And then, of course, this age is just such a hands-on age that you want to be doing a lot of ball throwing and gross motor skills with them anyway. And now you've tied it into geography, and that's a really fun way to do that.
Yeah, you could do things like throw the ball and quick, be the first one to find the giraffe, or who can point to where we live first, or all kinds of fun, active ways to get their minds thinking while also their bodies moving.
Okay, primary science lab set. Now you may look at this and say, why this one? I've seen many, everybody's got their version of this. But let me tell you, as a parent, that one that holds up to years and years of kids dropping, throwing, having fun with, and really using this, that's what stands out. And the other brands, they don't cut it. This one's going to hold up. It's thick, sturdy plastic, and they can color mix, measure, and do all these science experiments to their heart's content. It does include some cards so you can do some beginning science activities with them, but it also just gives you the tools to let them play and explore and really start to learn about science themselves. Next, we have the Honeysticks backdrops, and I'm really excited to be including these this year, because not only does it have the fun of color mixing and using the lab set with these to do the pouring and all the different activities that you can do with that, but these are safe, food grade, all natural ingredients, so you can feel excited and comfortable about having your kiddos play with it, take it in the bath, and it's beautiful and it's easy cleanup. It's not going to leave mess behind. So it's really a fun way to be introducing color science and even just the pouring and mixing and whatnot that kids are really going to get into.
Next in science, we have the health aspect of what's inside me. So this is a preschool, age-appropriate book with flaps, which it's just fun for this age group. They love that. So it's going to be covering bones, blood, lungs, muscles, digestion, but it doesn't have the heavy jargon of some How Does My Body Work books that would actually be too much for this age group. Very age-appropriate, tastefully done. We like this book because it turns all those how and why questions into the learning that they can actually see and understand. So how many bones does your hand have, or what makes me stick together? Well, it's your skeleton. All these things included, just very easily done. And again, flap or two a week, so you're not overwhelming them with information. It keeps it something that they look forward to while building on what they know.
Okay, so then we have the Sneak a Peek Science Collection. So this is really fun, especially at the preschool age, because preschoolers love being read to. And this is a book series that you can just take your kiddo up onto your lap and sit there and read them science, and they are going to be so enthralled. It's a sturdy hardcover book, a set of 3 different books, and they are going to have a little die-cut peek-through window on every page. So it just adds to the engagement and the interest to be like, what do you think is going to be on the next page? It's got a little bit of blue. We can see a little bit of polka dots. What do you think it's going to be? And these books are filled with scientific facts and fun, just beautifully drawn pictures that the kids are going to want to read and reread while they're assimilating all these science facts.
And like Grace said, it's just fun and simple. So, you know, elephants love to hang out with their elephant families. And that's just 2 sentences about how great elephants are and what they love to do. Or the common swift. They can fly for 10 months without landing. Like, who knew? Simple, engaging little facts that will introduce your child to more animals than is probably in their current vocabulary, and little bits of information about them.
Okay, next we have the Seek, Find, Fun Animals, and this is going to cover more about the animal habitats while doing a sticker book. And so a lot of different science facts, things that they're going to learn about each of the animals. There's facts about each one in there, but meanwhile they're also working on recognizing the shape, the silhouette of the animal and matching the sticker to it. So you're getting a little bit of fine motor skills and
shape recognition.
Yeah, but you're also getting the science and looking at their different habitats and which ones live in different areas. So a great science book for this age group. Okay, Plus Plus Big Learn and Explore. This is a family favorite. It will always be a family favorite. I don't see that ever changing. These big ones are great for the preschool age, also great for the senior age. So we love that you can have kiddos start with just a handful of pieces. So if you've got a student who's not used to looking at a picture and replicating it, you just hand them a couple pieces and tell them to put them together. And there's a little bit of resistance to it, so they're getting some of that fine motor skills just by doing that. Then you can start doing some of the color matching. You can pull out pieces for them, or you can have them pull out, now get me a white one, and now get me a red one, and start building those instruction following skills. And then you can start having them there's cards that they're going to actually overlay them onto the exact size, so that way, again, they don't have to already understand how to build a model. They can start building this flat picture, exactly replicating it with the pieces. And then you're going to have them start working to build models. So the kids never outgrow it. Older kids still love playing with this. And it's such durable, high quality. It's not going to fall apart. It's just a really excellent hands-on manipulative that they can learn a ton with.
And the handbook comes with more ideas for how to, so examples to have them build, so you're not left with, well, I've got the pieces, but I'm not sure what to do with it. And I honestly have to say, as a foster family, I am surprised how many children coming through here, maybe they're 2 or 3 years old, they've never done a lot of puzzles. I'm always a little hesitant, like, I'm not sure how this is going to go. And every time I'm so surprised with giving them a couple pieces, they master that, and next thing you know, like Grace said, they're onto the cards and going beyond. It's just a great step-by-step building up program to make them successful at learning how to construct different shapes and ideas and stuff. Yeah.
Okay, next we have the Geomag Preschool STEM, and this one I'm also really excited to be adding this year. And the reason I love this is because it's magnets, and at this age, magnets are a perfect choice because it doesn't have a lot of resistance, a lot of frustration, so they can be building with the magnets. But again, they've brilliantly thought through to have cards that they're building that are the exact same size as the magnets. So if you have a student who can't look at the picture and build it, that's okay. They start with building it onto the card, and then as they develop those skills, then they start building their own pieces and building their own models and whatnot. But it's going to build that spatial recognition, that spatial reasoning to say this equals this without a lot of frustration and without an overwhelm of pieces. So just 16 pieces, a couple different cards that they're going to work through. It's a really great set for this age.
It is. And so the cards are progressing from flat to 3D, which then prepares you for this next one, which is ThinkPlay Preschool.
Yes.
So ThinkPlay Preschool takes your child to the next level. So we've kind of done this in a number of different staggered steps. You've got the plus where every piece is the same, but they're learning how to fit them together. You've got the magnets where the pieces are different, but they're easy to attach together because they are magnets. And now we've got the ThinkPlay Preschool, which brings it to the next level. These are kind of a brick, like a Duplo brick type of piece. They will stack together, they connect together, and the instructions start real simple, finding the 2 or 3 blocks and stacking on top of each other, and then move to quite complex where they are building more in-depth models. So again, some families say, well, my child's not that interested in building things. I don't think that's for us. But the way we think of it here at Timberdoodle is this is a life skill. Learning how to look at a direction and replicate it is a life skill. And it's one that is an enjoyable life skill once your child masters the ability to do it. And by slowly scaffolding it up through these 3 sets, we are trying to enable your child to, without frustration, be able to slowly build the skill of learning to replicate a design into a model and then build their own models.
Yep.
And it doesn't come naturally for every child. And for those that it does, we still find that they tend to have holes in their abilities. So maybe they can look at it and replicate it, but when given a challenge to say, without a model, I want you to build this, they have that weakness. So the plus handles that. Or the children that can invent it but can't follow the directions, again, that's another hole that you want to target. And as somebody who, as a toddler or a probably primary kid, struggled with this, our mom had to break it down for me and say, okay, one step at a time, until finally I was able to learn how to put these things together. And that's a skill that I am very thankful for, because it has really impacted for the rest of my life what I'm able to do here at Timberdoodle. So valuable skill, wonderful kits to slowly scaffold it up for your child.
Next, we have social emotional. So in this category, we've got the picture of this Flipbook, which is, again, one of those really fun lap books where you're going to sit down and talk about the picture. And then it has a whole bunch of different prompts for you. So it's got the info there for you to ask, but it's also just a really fun one to sit and look at and say who, what, where, why on every page. And so much activity going on. So many fun things to talk about. Why is the boy crying? And why is the man look so frustrated? And start naming some of those emotions and talking about what could they do and what do you think is going to happen next, and just some of that emotional intelligence that building these conversations is going to build.
Yep. You're going to be developing the emotional smarts and social awareness naturally through the reading process.
Yep.
Okay, next in art we have Kwik Stix Cuties. Now, we have tried so many different paint sticks, and time again, Kwik Stix wins out for us every time. It's got bold colors, it dries in about 90 seconds, it glides on smoothly, so it's like an automatic win for the child as they're drawing with it. Basically, it's mess-free paint.
Yep.
So it will be an asset for you in your workbooks when you're looking for that bold color to go along as you do your mazes. It's an asset for you for when you want to do paint time, but without the mess.
Yes.
All around a win without the mess. It's easy enough that the preschoolers can use it independently, and bold enough that they will actually feel like it was successful for them once they have. Next, we have the Garden Collage Sensory Craft Box. Now, again, we have looked at a number of different craft kits for this age group, and there's so many available out there, but time and time again, we find ourselves disappointed because of the quality of the art projects, the quality of the instruction, the messiness of the collection, and every time I've really come back to say, I really like this Garden Collage set. The pieces, there's a lot of different components to it, a lot of different art components to it, but they are organized in the box. Small deal, but it's a big deal when you're mom. It's a big deal. The projects, I love it. They're in little packets in the lid so that you can pull one packet out and it's got what you need plus all the little accessories. It's got cutting and gluing and stickers and little tiny straw pieces and all kinds of fun things. Everything a crafter would think they'd want, organized and very approachable in the way that they have it bundled up for you and your child to do. So it makes crafting reasonable but fun, gives your child that outlet to learn and explore and discover, while also having the directions. So again, you can buy a craft box, and for some kids that would just be amazing. Like Grace would have gone to town with that. But for other kids, it's kind of I'm not really into that. I don't know what to do with that. I don't want to. And this now provides the structure to say, here's a caterpillar, here's how to create it, let's work on it together. So excellent kit.
Next and new this year is the Big Foam Stickers, the Hippo and Friends book. So this is really great because it has thick foam stickers, so easy for those little hands to grab. Very simple pages, so they're not going to be overwhelmed. Again, we've looked at so many different kits, but so many times we look at it and we say, this is just way too overwhelming. They're not going to be able to do that. Not so with this book. This is going to be fun. They're going to be able to put on the assigned different stickers by the dotted guides and then pull out those cutie paint sticks and fill in the coloring, and you're developing that creative side, you're developing the instruction following, all the while building fine motor skills and confidence. Okay, next we have the Wild Ones paint set, and I absolutely love this one for a couple of reasons. First off, I love having kids learn to paint because I see that as such a therapeutic life skill. It's something they can fall back on in their adult years, in their teen years. Like, it is such a great and healthy skill. But I hate messes. And so this one just has my name on it because it comes with these little palettes of paint, and you just get their paintbrush wet and dip it on the paint, and it comes up with this, it's thick. It's like, it covers it. It's real good paint. And I don't know if you've ever gotten some cheap set that's just add water and you go to do it and it's just such a disappointment. And that's not so with this one. So absolutely love it. Zero mess. And it was so much fun because as we went to take pictures of this for our catalog, the preschooler we had using it, she just didn't want to stop. She just keeps painting and painting. And I'm like, this is why we include it, because it is such a wonderful set. So
moved her out of the way, kept shooting pictures, and she's still over there painting away.
Yeah, this is excellent.
Crayon Rocks. These Crayon Rocks are shaped with a design so that your child makes the appropriate grasp to build those fine motor skills. These are wonderful, smooth, sturdy, not snappy, not peeling crayons. You know, we bring them out when we have different classes, and the kids, no matter the age, naturally gravitate toward them. They're cute and
fun to hold.
The colors are attractive, and then they apply very well. Not frustrating to use, but it's recommended by OTs and teachers because it does build the hand strength and the fine motor control for handwriting. So you don't have to say to them, oh, that's not the way to hold it. Naturally, by the shape of the crown, they're going to be working on that correct hand position.
Okay, Noodle Doodle sensory activity board. So what is it and why do we include it? Well, it's a double-sided silicone board. It's got these, we call them snakes or worms or whatever your story may be, but it's got these little silicone strings that they're going to push into the grid. There's a grid side and then there's a swirly side. So the grid side's easier, so we love that it's got that dual purpose, but it's not only quiet and mess-free, but it's going to build that attention to detail and just the fine motor skill of pushing them in and getting them in where they want, especially on the squiggles. It takes a little bit more forethought, a little bit more effort to get that in there. So an excellent one for in the car or at the doctor appointment, somewhere where you need to be quiet, but also a good calming sensory activity to say, here you go, here's your snakes, and tuck them all into bed.
It also strengthens their proprioception, so their body awareness, the balance, the pressure, the control to put these snakes in is very important, and it is a skill that will grow with the child and transfer to other things. All right, lacing figures. This is another new ad for 2026, and again, one that we're really excited about. Lacing is a classic preschool age type activity, but inevitably there's always some frustration, at least for me, involved in this process. So you can get lacing and the child can't figure out how to go up and down. You can get lacing, the child can't manipulate the large lacing card and the string. These lacing shapes are perfect because they are small, they're easy to manage, they have two holes. This is what else I love. It's not just a single whole object that when the child lets go falls off the string. I mean, that is classic frustration.
Yes.
These are double holes so the child can learn the up and down motion, the pre-sewing skill. And by it going up and down on the single piece, it also naturally holds it onto the string even better. So reduces the frustration, prepares them for those lacing cards if you want to go that route later, or sewing later on. Great fine motor skill, great ability to then also, you can work on matching. Let's do all the purple ones, or color patterning, or shape patterning. Just awesome kit.
And the rope that's included with it is really heavy duty. It's a thick, it's got a good coefficient of friction. So again, as you're sticking it in up the hole and in and out, it's not necessarily going to just slide off. It's got enough resistance that it's going to take away some of that frustration.
I have gone through a number of lacing kits and abandoned all of them, and I'm really excited about this one because I feel like it does a great job of targeting those frustrations and dealing with them.
Yep, and to my great delight, it's translucent, which means that they can see a little bit through it as they're threading so they're not blindly searching for where's that hole I'm trying to get the string through. They can see through it a little bit, which helps with that skill. It also comes with a couple different cards, so as you master the threading, you can take it even further to do some sequencing and whatnot that it's going to instruct with that. So a great set. Mattr. So we have loved Mattr for years and years. We've tried, of course, every time there's something new, we've got to try it, and we've tried plenty. But Mattr's where it's at because Mattr can vacuum up, it can sweep up, it doesn't stain. And
feels good on your hands.
Yeah, it doesn't. I hate when it leaves a residue on my hand. I'm not going to play with it, and this is really great. And you can mold it into various shapes. You can cut it. You can roll it out. Like it's an excellent compound. And we are absolutely thrilled to be working with Mattr to bring in a custom color for us. So it's in this natural sand color this year. We were talking about this with my son, and he's thrilled because it's such a fun color to get your construction vehicles out with, or to make an animal habitat with, or whatever it is that they love to build. The sand color is just a very peaceful color that's going to correlate to that very well. We also love this for the whole convergent divergent thinking, that you're going to have your kiddos free play with it, and they're going to go bonkers with that and have so much fun. But then you can also bring it back into a structured setting and say, okay, I want you to make something, and we give you a whole bunch of ideas in the handbook for that. Of this week, have them make something they love to eat, or have them make a shape, or it's going to give you a different age-appropriate assignment that they're going to do that's going to have that creative thinking side to it too.
And I think it's really important, especially at this age group, to make sure that you are not leaving behind the sensory component. And so that's, again, it's really important that your child gets exposed to a bunch of different textures, and Mattr just allows you to give that focused time to say, I want you in there hands-on, I want you squeezing and smushing and smoothing and creating. But it's nice because as a mom, it keeps it reasonable, the mess reasonable. Yep. There will be sunny days to go out and play in the sandbox or in the mud puddle, but this in the comfort of your home still lets them have that mental downtime and that constructive creation with the sensory aspect. Meori mini box, again, this has been a household staple for us. It holds our pencils, it holds the pens, the scissors, whatever it is. It's tear-proof, dirt-resistant, exclusive to us this year with the cow on the front, which we just love. It's adorable, the little Highland cow. But really, we have found the Meori boxes to be just a really handy tool for keeping all your little school supplies together in one place. You're not chasing them around, just pull it out and go. Last off, we have the Timberdoodle handbook that comes with each kit. So in your Timberdoodle handbook, it'll give a brief synopsis on each product included, what we're envisioning for scheduling, and then access to our online scheduler. So
that's where it's at.
You get this huge box of preschool items, so fun, so exciting, and then, oh no, now what? How am I supposed to get through all of this? When do I start each product? That's where your online scheduler comes in handy. So your online scheduler will automatically load all of this into it. And then if you've made customizations like we already know this and you've taken it out, or we don't know it yet and you've added in a different level, great, you can make those adjustments in your online scheduler. schedule it for the day or schedule it for the week. So if you want a daily checklist, great. Or if you just want a weekly checklist so you don't have to be concerned each day with getting through the entire thing, whatever works best for you guys. And it will walk you through to say 7 pages of this or 1 experiment in that. And it makes it all so much more doable. So again, with our kids, we've printed out the preschool list and we've said, okay, we're going to go through, 7 pages of the Play Smart workbooks. And you think, oh, how am I going to do that? You sit down, next thing you know, all 7 pages are done and they want to keep going. And it's just easy. Put that up to the side. Today we don't have much time, but let's just quick do a day and night puzzle before I start lunch. And little by little, you just check through everything on the list. Makes it super simple, easy to follow. Also, you have the reading challenge so that you can make sure you're reading to your child, not just that you are reading, which is huge and valuable, but that you're reading a lot of different genres so that your child's not only interested in construction or not only interested in horses, but that they have gotten a wide variety of different topics and genres to be read to that year. So, valuable resource, all included in the handbook, all those online access and everything is included in there. And then, as always, if you have questions, if you are trying to figure out if this works for your child or how to make this work for your family this year, we would love to help. So email us, call us, chat us online. However we can help, we would love to do that. If you need help with customizations, let us know.
If you're not sure if your student is ready for preschool or if they should be in the pre-K.
Absolutely.
Yep, we've got placement tests, and we're always happy to jump in and help you interpret that and help you figure out which components would be best.
Yeah, it's a great year to be homeschooling. We hope you and your child enjoy it, and thanks for watching with us.